Well, this is the Alpha Sessions. I'm here with Anna Aarons. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How did the musical journey start for you?
Well, I actually started dancing when I was little. That was always my first love. So I was dancing from 9 years old, and then we used to do shows quite a lot, and then that started to involve singing, and I hadn't really sung, to anyone apart from, when I was really little. And yeah, the teacher just said, go on, just sing a line and see how it goes. And I did, and then this voice came out. I don't even know how to. So from there, I kind of sang a lot in those dance shows. And then, but still kind of always really loved dancing. And then I started doing drama. But from going to university doing drama, I actually met other people there, other musicians, who started writing songs and performing at open mic nights. And kind of that's when I realised that kind of, I had something I could, carry on with. And then, post uni, I did the Gigs Big Bus competition, and that really got me into, performing live. And then I started busking, and from there, I guess is where I started getting more gigs. So yeah.
Would you say that when you were at uni, that was kind of like your light bulb moment?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I definitely really enjoyed doing the open mics, and it was something I hadn't really done before. And definitely writing songs, I did quite a lot at uni with friends. And I think, I realised that when I left uni, I just got the first salaried job I could get in admin. It was pretty rubbish. And then I realised, actually, I don't want to be here. And I kind of, when I started doing the busking, thought, I'm going to make money from it.
Yeah, fair enough. And let's talk briefly about songwriting, because you've obviously penned a lot to paper, and released your first single really recently, actually, this year. Yeah. What's the, how did it work for you in terms of that process? Because to me, as someone who's not a musician, writing songs sounds ridiculously scary. So how did you go from not knowing that you could sing to sitting down and putting that pen to paper?
I've always really liked writing, so for me it's always been lyrical. And so I wrote my first song with a friend at school. And then at uni it was always with a friend kind of thing. And then I think when I left uni, I did start to kind of practice keyboard a bit more and stuff, so I did actually write my first song just completely myself as well. And for me, it sounds really corny, but I only really write songs that kind of come from the heart, or they kind of just come out. If I'm ever told write a song about this, it doesn't sound as good as my other songs, because you have to think about it too much, if that makes sense.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, because like I say, a lot of my songs that I'm quite proud of, or that I do sing, they do just kind of come out. I write a lyric and then the melody kind of comes into my head, and then if I haven't written that, I'll just sing it to a musician, and they'll write the music for me. And I just think that any song I've had to think about, for me, they just don't sound as genuine. And I like to sing, kind of the same as a lot of the singers that I admire. They sing from experience, and then they sell lots of records.
So let's talk about your single.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Life.
And what would you say that was about?
So it was actually written for my parents.
Okay.
So the first line, you are the one, never any doubt, because that's something my dad, actually both my parents, they've always said they, from when they were really young, they always knew they were, the one for each other, which is really sweet. But then the rest of the song kind of talks about us as a family and how we're kind of always there for each other. And I just thought it was, because it's kind of not explicitly Mom, I love you or whatever. I thought it would be a good song to release, because I thought other people could relate to it in their own way. So yeah.
So it's kind of transferable in a weird way.
Yeah, because my music video actually features me and a boyfriend figure who is my actual boyfriend, but kind of to visualize it in a different way.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of nature in it because of life. So yeah, I just thought it was the first song I wrote that I thought, actually, this is it's still personal to me, but it's one I feel like other people could relate to, so I wanted to kind of get it out there.
The Alpha Sessions.
Do you get all your inspiration from personal experiences, or would you say that there are other things that you would take from
that? No, definitely. I think everything kind of. I mean, if I may quote, or not even quote, talk about my inspiration, Amy Winehouse. All of her songs are from experience, and she kind of only ever wanted to do that, and that's why her songs are so pure, like raw even. And I mean, I'm not like kind of the same level as her, but I do get the same, like, because for her it was like a release kind of whatever was going on in her head, and I kind of feel the same, like things just kind of come out when I need to get them out, and to make music from it. It's kind of like turning sometimes a bad thing into a good thing, or I don't know.
Would you say you kind of did it to de-stress?
Sometimes, yeah.
Like a release?
Yeah. It's just kind of writing kind of makes sense if there's something in my head that whatever, and then just getting it out into a song is quite cool.
Fair enough. You just touched on it briefly there in terms of Amy Winehouse, and if anyone was to kind of know you, even just looking at you now, you can tell, like, from a style perspective, that there's that little bit of influence, and obviously on your website, and you do like regular Amy Winehouse tribute concerts, etc. Where did that come from? Like, at what point did you realise that how much you took from her and her style and her influence?
Well, I always knew I liked her from Back to Black. And so that album kind of got me through a breakup, kind of when it came out, and I always liked her voice and everything. And then when I went busking, I sang a few of her songs just, as in my set, and quite a few people after I'd sung it would come up to me and say, you sound quite like her, which was a compliment because obviously she's amazing. And it kind of gave me the idea to do an Amy Winehouse night, just to kind of see what the reaction was. So I did the first night as like a charity night, kind of, just to see the reaction, and it went really well. And then we've been doing it for about 3 or 4 years now, and actually from doing that I then listened to Frank, which was her first album, which I hadn't actually listened to before, and that is like, it's actually a lot jazzier than her Back to Black album, and it's I don't know, she continues to inspire me kind of more now than when she was alive, which is quite sad, but I just think she's amazing.
Would you say, bit of a difficult question now, what would you say was your favourite Amy Winehouse track?
It would definitely have to be from Frank. I don't know.
We can come back to that later if you like.
I think What Is It About Men on Frank is so mature for an 18-year-old, really self-reflective, but also October Song, which I performed, I just really like the kind of quirkiness of that. I don't know, it's quite hard to pick.
In terms of October Song, obviously that being a cover, tell us a little bit about that. At what point, how do you connect with that song?
In the song she says, she references Sarah Vaughan, and then I realised that she kind of doesn't sample the song, but she kind of uses the Lullaby of Birdland by Sarah Vaughan, and recently actually my dad found a recording of his late mother singing, and the song she was singing was a Sarah Vaughan song.
That's mental.
I know, and it was a different song, but it kind of gave me the idea to maybe, because I'm hoping to release an EP next year, I might hopefully do something similar to what she's done with that. So like I say, she didn't sample the song, but she's used similar in the I'm not gonna sing it, but like there is a bit that you really recognise from the Sarah Vaughan song, so I kind of want to maybe see if I can do something similar with the song that my grandmother sang. And I mean that's an idea at the moment. I probably shouldn't like give away all my secrets, but but I don't know what it's going to turn out like. So.
That's like family heirlooms to a new level. It's mad.
Well, I stole my late grandmother's name, Anna Ahrens. Ahrens was her maiden name.
I don't think you stole it necessarily.
It's my stage name.
Today, my bird flew away, gone to find a big blue day. Starlight, before she took flight, sang a lullaby of the land every night. Sang a lullaby every night, sang for my Ava every night. Ava was the morning, now she's gone.
questions.
So in terms of you as a singer, you're also working as a trio.
Oh yeah, we've got a band actually. So Mem, who played guitar, he usually plays bass in our band.
Okay.
And we've got Will on drums, who's also my producer. He produced Life. And we work with Josh on guitar. So yeah, we've got a little band going, and it's really nice.
Awesome. And it's kind of described as a pop rock, jazz, soul, fusion. Those are like very different categories to kind of merge into one. Like, was that an active decision that you guys made, or did it just happen because you're from like different musical backgrounds and you've used it together? How does that work?
That's kind of more for kind of covers gigs that I do. I kind of cover all those genres. Yeah. And we like to do kind of themed nights and stuff, because we just kind of, I mean, I must admit, I'm kind of like, boys, what do you think of doing this? And they're like, yeah, sure. So we kind of, we cover a lot of genres together. But kind of when it comes to my own stuff, kind of the EP will actually be the first time I'll work with them as a band, because kind of up until now, I've only, I can't remember how long we've been performing, but all my songs I've written, I've brought to them. So it might be interesting to see like how my EP will turn out, having like working with them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. But like, how does that process work with regards to your original material? So like, do you go away, write the songs, and work with Will or whoever to produce them, or do they have input in that process as well?
I think it depends. Like sometimes when I've written my lyrics, like I say, like a melody comes into my head, so I've got quite a clear idea of what I want it to sound like, and then I'll just try and get the boys to kind of imagine that for me, because I sound really not lame, that's not the word, but like I don't like that I can't put in, like I hear the song in my head, but because I don't have that music theory, like the songs I have written myself are where I have known the chords, so I've written the chords and then things kind of come. But if it's the other way around, I just can't translate that. So sometimes like I will just have a really clear idea, and I'll try and get them to kind of like basically put it down into music. But sometimes I do just have lyrics, so I don't have a clear melody. So so then we kind of just work together a little bit. But
so the boys help you with that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Does that because I could see when you're talking about it just now, you were getting a little bit kind of not worked up, but kind of like almost like you wish that you had more of that or something?
Yeah. I think I've been quite lucky. I've met quite a few really talented musicians, and now I'm really lucky to have my band, and they seem to enjoy working with me. I enjoy working with them, and maybe I do rely on them a little bit to kind of like, oh, this is my idea, make it into a song. And actually saying that with Life, I did write that on guitar, and then when I came to Will to produce it, I think he did an amazing job. Like he kind of came up with the harmonies that you hear on the track. Obviously you can't hear when I do it live, and it's good having those fresh pair of ears on a song, because I would never have thought to have done that, and I think it was really good. So that's quite a good thing of working with other people. Like,
I'm laughing because I was tempted to say eyes, and I could kind of see that you were going to say eyes as well. But it's cool. No, look, I think like I was walking past when you guys were sound checking earlier, and like that was just a sound check and warm up, and I kind of had to do a double take and be like, wow, that sounds amazing. Like, how's it going to sound in the studio? So whatever you guys are doing together, like it obviously is working because it sounds amazing. So like keep doing what you're doing. So going back to kind of the whole Amy Winehouse thing, and I guess moving forward with that, how have you got, I want to say, a dream of where you want to take that?
Oh, with the Amy Winehouse nights. Well, because I sing for Pizza Express, who are a brand that Amy sang for herself, but they've got this new kind of.
Was that a coincidence, or was that?
Well, they've got this new night live playlist, which is Thursday nights at kind of their localized restaurants. Right. But then from that, kind of obviously the lady who books us, she got to know me and then booked my Amy Winehouse night at one of their main venues, the new one in Holborn, and that sold out last year in August, and so that was a pretty good a highlight for me.
Yeah,
and then luckily now we've been rebooked for March. But yeah, my show is quite, it's not like I'm not a tribute artist, because I don't, wear the wig, and I don't try and speak like her. It's more like I sound a bit like her, and we perform her songs for fans, but whenever I talk about it, it's me talking about her. So it's kind of like
not
a
an
different
impersonation as such.
No, apart from when I sing, I try and do her mannerisms and stuff to kind of give the illusion of her singing, but then I don't want to try and pretend I'm her.
I get that,
because I think it's nice to kind of reflect, especially because she did pass so young, and obviously she left such a legacy behind it. I've quite like talking about her, kind of sharing with the audience, because a lot of like the show sells itself because of Amy Winehouse, because everyone loves her, so it's really nice to kind of share that experience with the audience. Sounds a bit corny, but
no, it's not corny at all. Your EP, is there a timeline for this?
No, we are actually gonna talk about it after Christmas. I'm hoping, I suppose I shouldn't say too much, as we don't have any solid plans yet, but definitely like in pipeline for next year. We want to hopefully get some tracks down, and one of the songs I sang, Her, that will definitely be on it, because when we do it with the band, whenever I've performed it live, everyone always really loves that song. So I was like, well, I definitely have to get that down. So I think that's what's kind of inspired me to get some more songs down, and see what happens really. But
cool. You've also played quite a few gigs live as Anna as well, not just as Amy Winehouse. Have you got a favourite venue in London?
Well, the Pizza Express Open is my favourite. I did actually do my single release there in January. So I have performed there by myself. Do
you feel like you have to wear like two different hats, the Anna hat and the Amy hat?
When I'm singing, because there's times where I'm doing like a normal set and I'll sing an Amy song, and I've got to remember trying to not put too much Amy in it, because I'm doing my own
is that
set. Sometimes, because for the show I work so hard in trying to get her nuances, or if that's the right word, in all her songs, but also from having learnt more about her and realising that when she sang live, she liked to do it differently each time, because she wanted to give the audience, or even, I don't even know if it was a personal thing, but she liked it to sound different to the recording. And so even though I do try and sound like her when I do the Amy nights, I still try and do it a little bit different to kind of respect that. But then I've kind of taken that into my own performing as well, that now I've been performing for a few years, it's given me confidence to do that with the songs I sing. And but I think, like I say, because I do the Amy shows as myself when I'm talking, but I prefer singing. I get a bit rambly when I talk, as you might be able to tell.
No, not at all. It's really interesting, I think. Awesome. And also, in terms of like where people can find out more about you, where can they go? What can they do?
So I have a website which is annaaarons.co.uk. Cool. So that will have all my social media links, and then photos and videos and everything. But if you are just on social media, Instagram is Anna Sings, but it's got 3 A's at the end. Anna Sings. And sometimes I'm on Twitter, but I forget. But mainly Instagram and Facebook I post to, and YouTube, But if you go on my website, it's all on there.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me. It's lovely.
And we'll speak to you soon.
Yeah.
All that I had comparing where she should be, and I said, darling, go just wait, she said. Well, I never had that, now she's got all I wanted to have. Tried and tried, but I never had that, she said, darling, girl, you don't wanna be me, and we go round and round in love and grace, and little little sparks of emerald raging round and round in love and grace, love and grace. Coming back to her little girl, standing tall above me, who'll always be 6 feet to her little girl, who's never been little to me, who's never been her little girl, standing tall above me. She's everything I'll never be, she's always there for me. She always tells me she's no good, on and on I'm going to lose, but she never does. And I never had that, now I tell her that I'm a fool. Thought I'd win, but I always lose. She said, darling, you're no fool. Wish I could love like you, and we go round and round in love and grace, and little sparks of emerald raging round and round in love and grace, love and grace. Coming back to her little girl, standing tall above me, will always be 6 feet to her little girl, who's never been little to me, who's never been her little girl, standing tall above me. She's everything I'll never be, she's always there for me. And oh, you know I'm trying to protect you from the fool that I've been.